Greetings, scholars. I hope this message finds you all well. Today's math lesson is going to be on the area of quadrilaterals. I'm going to look at this presentation. So an introduction to the quadrilateral family. A quadrilateral is a four-sided plane. Some examples are a trapezium or trapezoid, a parallelogram, a rectangle, a rhombus, and a square. Area of a parallelogram. The area of a parallelogram is the product of the length of one side and the distance of the opposite side, or the base times the height. The area of a rhombus is half the product of the diagonals. So 1/2 of D1 times D2. The area of a trapezium is half the product of the sum of its parallel sides and the distance between them. So half the sum of the parallel sides and the product of the distance between them. 1/2 the sum of the parallel sides times the distance between them. The area of a quadrilateral is half the product of the length of a diagonal with the sum of the lengths of the perpendiculars from the opposite vertexes. So the area is going to equal 1/2 of the product of the length of a diagonal and the sum of the lengths of the perpendiculars from the opposite vertexes. So these are the perpendiculars, these are the opposite vertexes, this is the diagonal. The area of a trapezium shown below is area equals 1/2 of the height times the sum of side A and side B. If A and B are equal in the trapezium, it becomes a parallelogram. When the angles of this parallelogram are made right angles, it becomes a rectangle. Some properties of quadrilaterals. Here we see them all listed again: square, rhombus, rectangle, parallelogram. We have a quadrilateral and a trapezium. So the quadrilateral will have no parallel sides. The trapezium will have exactly one pair of parallel sides. The parallelogram will have two pairs of parallel sides. The rhombus will have two pairs of parallel sides that are all congruent or equal in length. A rectangle is a parallelogram with right angles, or a quadrilateral that has two sets of congruent sides and two sets of parallel sides. A square is a quadrilateral or rectangle with congruent sides, sides that are all the same length. Note that squares, rectangles, and rhombuses are types of parallelograms, and that a square is a type of rectangle and a type of rhombus. So some formulas in general. Our area formula for our rectangle will be the base times the height. Our area for a square will be side squared, or side times side. For a parallelogram, it will be our base times our height. For a rhombus, it'll be 1/2 the product of diagonal 1 and diagonal 2. For a trapezium, it will be 1/2 of the height times side 1 and side 2, the parallel sides. And for a quadrilateral, it would be 1/2 of a diagonal times the length of the perpendicular plus the length of the perpendicular. Let's find the area of the parallelogram with a height of 5 centimeters and a base of 12 centimeters. We're going to use our formula, base times height, and plug in for those. 12 times 5, or 5 times 12, gives us 60 square centimeters because we multiply centimeters by centimeters to get square centimeters. Always remember our unit of measure. Number 2, find the area of the rhombus whose diagonals are of length 16 centimeters and 12 centimeters. For this, our formula is going to be that the area equals 1/2 of diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. So we're going to go for 1/2 of 16 times 12. 16 times 12 is 100 and this is simple. 16 times 12. I'm sorry. 192. Divided by 2 gives us 96. Find the area of the trapezium of height 4 centimeters and parallel sides 6 centimeters and 9 centimeters. Our formula is 1/2 the height times the sum of side 1 and side 2. So we'll look for 1/2 of 4 times the sum of 9 plus 6. The sum of 9 plus 6 is 15. 4 times 15 is 60. 1/2 of 60 gives us 30 square centimeters. Find the area of a quadrilateral having diagonals 50 centimeters and perpendicular heights measuring 10 centimeters and 20 centimeters. Our formula gives us 1/2 the diagonal times the sum of perpendicular 1 and perpendicular 2. So 1/2 of 50 times 10 plus 20, which gives us 30. 50 times 30 gives us 1,500. 1/2 of 1,500 is 750 square centimeters. Find the area of the trapezium below. If we've given 4 centimeters, 13 centimeters as the diagonal, and 12 centimeters as the base. The diagonals of a quadrilateral are perpendicular to each other, and their lengths are 16 centimeters and 10 centimeters. What is its area? Please work on those assignments. Have a great day on purpose.